Emma was a young woman on the cusp of adulthood, filled with dreams and aspirations. Having just graduated from college with a degree in history, she was eager to explore the world and uncover its enigmatic past. But fate had other plans for her. Shortly after her college graduation, Emma received the devastating news of her beloved grandmother, Beatrice's passing. Beatrice had been a guiding light in Emma's life, instilling in her a passion for history and a love for the mysteries of the past. The loss was profound, and Emma found herself grappling with grief and a sense of uncertainty about the future. As Emma attended the funeral, she felt a deep emptiness within her heart. But amidst the sorrow, there was a glimmer of hope as she learned that Beatrice had left her the old house as her final gift. The inheritance came as a surprise, as Emma had always assumed the house would be sold or inherited by other family members. Uncertain of her next steps and yearning for a sense of connection to her beloved grandmother, Emma decided to move into the old house. It was a quaint, slightly dilapidated home, but it held cherished memories of summers spent with Beatrice, listening to her captivating tales of history and exploring the hidden treasures in its attic. The house had an undeniable charm, with creaking floorboards and walls adorned with fading photographs. Emma could almost hear her grandmother's laughter echoing through its halls. It felt like a haven, a place where she could find solace in the memories of her past and continue her journey of discovering the world's enigmatic history. As she settled into the old house, Emma found comfort in the familiar objects that once belonged to Beatrice. She discovered a trove of ancient books in the attic, dusty journals filled with tales of forgotten times, and an assortment of peculiar artifacts, each with its own story to tell. The old house became a sanctuary for Emma, and she felt a sense of closeness to Beatrice that transcended the boundaries of time and space. The days were filled with reminiscences and exploration, and Emma's love for history deepened as she immersed herself in her grandmother's legacy. Yet, amidst the memories and nostalgia, Emma couldn't help but sense an enigmatic energy that seemed to linger in the corners of the house. Unexplained drafts, flickering lights, and faint whispers in the night hinted at a hidden world beyond her comprehension. Little did she know that the old house held secrets that would soon unravel, and the enigmatic history she had always been drawn to would become an intricate tapestry of mystery, malevolence, and the haunting power of the past. When Beatrice passed away, Emma was overwhelmed with grief but also a sense of responsibility to honor her grandmother's memory. As she sorted through the old house, she stumbled upon the antique mirror hidden in a forgotten corner of the attic. The mirror's intricate frame and bewitching aura captivated her, and she felt an inexplicable connection to the artifact. Unaware of the mirror's sinister past, Emma brought it down from the attic and placed it in her living room, where she admired its beauty and wondered about its history. As time passed, however, she realized that keeping the mirror was both a financial strain and an unsettling presence in her home. That's when she decided to post it on Facebook Marketplace, hoping that someone with an appreciation for antiques would take it off her hands. Days turned into weeks, and despite some inquiries, no buyers came forward. Emma's desperation grew as she struggled to make ends meet, burdened by the old house's upkeep and unexpected expenses. That's when Mr. Holloway's message appeared, expressing a keen interest in the antique mirror. Despite her reservations about meeting a stranger in a desolate location near dark woods, Emma's financial struggles pushed her to take the risk. She yearned for the money from the sale to ease her burdens, and she convinced herself that Mr. Holloway was merely a collector with a passion for antiques. Their encounter in the shadow of the dark woods was unsettling, to say the least. Mr. Holloway's presence exuded an air of enigma and concealed intentions. As Emma stood with the antique mirror in her hands, ready to complete the sale to Mr. Holloway for $400, a sinister glint appeared in his eyes. Unbeknownst to her, he had planned to take the mirror without paying, lured by its malevolent power. In a swift and unexpected move, Mr. Holloway snatched the mirror from Emma's grasp, leaving her stunned and defenseless. "Thanks for the mirror, my dear," he sneered, a wicked smile stretching across his face. Emma's heart pounded with shock and fear as she tried to comprehend what had just transpired. She couldn't believe that the enigmatic buyer had betrayed her, and her mind raced for a way to reclaim the mirror. Determined not to let the cursed artifact fall into the wrong hands, she gathered her courage and confronted Mr. Holloway. "Give it back. You can't take it without paying," she demanded, her voice trembling. But Mr. Holloway showed no remorse, only amusement at her distress. "I think you'll find I can, my dear. It's mine now," he taunted. Before Emma could react, Mr. Holloway's henchmen emerged from the shadows, surrounding her like vultures closing in on their prey. Fear gnawed at her soul as they advanced, cornering her against a nearby wall. In a desperate bid for escape, Emma struggled to break free from their grasp. She fought with every ounce of strength she could muster, but the henchmen were ruthless and overpowering. With a swift and brutal blow, one of the henchmen struck Emma, causing her to crumple to the ground, blood trickling down her forehead. The pain was searing, but she refused to surrender to the malevolence that now consumed her life. Gritting her teeth, Emma forced herself to her feet, a fierce determination igniting within her. She knew she had to escape, to get back the cursed mirror before its malevolent power fell into the wrong hands. Summoning the last of her strength, she sprinted through the dimly lit streets, the darkness offering her brief moments of respite. Her heart pounded in her ears as she navigated through unfamiliar alleys and hidden paths, driven by an unyielding will to survive. The night was filled with shadows that seemed to taunt her, mirroring the malevolence that had invaded her life. Yet, amidst the darkness, Emma glimpsed a glimmer of hope, a distant police station that loomed like a beacon of salvation. Tears blurred her vision as she raced towards the station, her breaths ragged and her body screaming in pain. Bursting through the doors, she collapsed, gasping for breath, and pleaded for help, recounting the treacherous encounter with Mr. Holloway and his henchmen. The police, concerned for her safety, took immediate action. Emma guided them to the location where she had met Mr. Holloway, praying they would reach him before he could harness the mirror's malevolent power. As the police conducted their search, Emma's mind was plagued with uncertainty. She knew the cursed mirror's sinister history and the danger it posed in the wrong hands. She couldn't bear to imagine the malevolent forces unleashed upon the world if Mr. Holloway succeeded in manipulating its power. As Emma prepared for bed, she couldn't help but think how Mr. Holloway would get away with this crime. Little did she know that the night would take an eerie turn as she slipped into a dream world that mirrored the haunting tales of her grandmother's stories. In her dreams, Mr. Holloway reappeared, wielding the mirror's malevolent power as if it were an ancient sorcerer's wand. The dream landscape shifted, contorting into nightmarish illusions that seemed too real to escape. Trapped within the dream, Emma struggled to break free from the sinister influence that now held her captive. With each attempt to wake up, the malevolent grip tightened, leaving her more entangled in the nightmarish realm. Her strength waned as Mr. Holloway reveled in his malevolent manipulation, taunting her with the haunting power of the cursed mirror. Desperation consumed Emma as she tried to resist the malevolent force that seemed intent on keeping her trapped forever. But just as hope seemed to fade, a familiar figure appeared within the dream, an apparition of her grandmother, Beatrice. With a calm and reassuring presence, Beatrice chanted ancient words, weaving a protective spell to combat the curse's power. Emma felt a surge of hope and determination, drawing strength from her grandmother's spirit as she confronted Mr. Holloway and the malevolent mirror. In a final showdown, Emma channeled her courage and embraced the memories of her grandmother's wisdom. With a resolute cry, she shattered the mirror's malevolence within the dream, breaking free from its haunting grasp. Emma's eyes opened in the real world, her heart racing, but she felt a newfound sense of freedom. Her grandmother's guidance and the power of love had broken the malevolent curse that had held her captive. From that moment on, Emma knew that the antique mirror would remain a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows of the past. But she also realized the importance of her grandmother's legacy, which continued to protect and guide her, even from beyond the veil of dreams. With gratitude and reverence for her grandmother's presence, Emma vowed to cherish the memories of Beatrice and the lessons she had learned in breaking the malevolent curse that had threatened to engulf her forever. After a few days passed, and the night wore on, each moment feeling like an eternity. Just when hope seemed to fade, the police returned, victorious. With determination and teamwork, they had apprehended Mr. Holloway and retrieved the cursed mirror. Emma felt a mix of relief and gratitude for the police's swift action. The mirror, no longer tainted by the malevolent intentions of Mr. Holloway, was now safely in their custody. As the sun began to rise, casting its warm glow over the dark city streets, Emma knew that she had faced the depths of darkness and survived. The malevolent heist had left its mark on her physically and emotionally, but she emerged stronger and more resilient. From that day forward, Emma became an advocate for raising awareness about the dangers of malevolent artifacts, ensuring that others were vigilant when dealing with the enigmatic world of antiques. The cursed mirror became a haunting reminder of the malevolence that could consume one's soul, and Emma vowed to protect others from its malevolent grasp. In the end, she knew that the malevolent heist had changed her life forever, leaving her with scars both seen and unseen. But through the darkness, she had found the strength to embrace the light, and in doing so, she became a beacon of hope for others who might one day face the malevolent shadows that lurk in the world of the arcane and the enigmatic.